There, fellow cinephiles, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Talk Film to Me podcast, where we talk about films in Kenya and beyond. I'm your host, Nkata. Let's talk film. So today, this is a different kind of episode. It's an interlude episode, so we're not going to be reviewing any particular film. We are going to be talking about moi, about me. This podcast is really special to me in terms of what I love doing, what I'm passionate about, and that's film. So who am I? What do I do? And why am I doing what I am doing? I am Gloria Nkata. Probably that's the only time you're ever going to hear me using that name by myself, unless I'm signing up with something official that needs me to use my national identification. But yes, I'm Gloria Nkata. I am in my late 20s. I will not be saying my age, and it's going to remain that way for a minute. Am I in my late 20s or mid 20s? Mid going to late. I would say that. Mid going to late. I'm in my mid 20s. Probably going to be in my late 20s this year. Shoot. Anyway, so yeah. Wow, let me start. So I studied film, and every time I say that and somebody asks me, okay, but where did you study? And I say that school, somebody's like, they teach film there. Yes, they do. I studied, I have a Bachelor of Arts in Performing Arts from the University of Nairobi in Performing Arts. So in Performing Arts, I studied both theater and film. And after that, of course, when I was going into campus, all I wanted to do was journalism, which is quite funny. But journalism was only offered in parallel at that time, and it was too expensive for my parents to pay. So I had to look for other options. And my friend Ted, hi Ted, Ted invited me for an N-band show that there was this group called the University of Nairobi Traveling Theatre. And I watched the show and I was like, this is really cool. How can I join this? And so I basically just took a course that would make sure I end up there in that particular club or group. And yeah, that's how I ended up in a theater group. I definitely acted. I participated in script writing here and there. And then I think I would say that's where my career started in what I'm actually practicing. So I'm not saying I'm not a filmmaker, but I have a money maker career. I'm a digital marketer by profession. I started doing publicity for the University of Nairobi Traveling Theatre, and from then on, I started taking small courses here and there. At the same time, still doing film. I am a costume designer by profession, which is what I majored in. Immediately, I left campus, and while I was still in campus, I am accredited. Okay. I've done a show, I think two, yeah, they're on Showmax, and also Triangle, which is, we're going to be reviewing it here for sure. Only that I think I might need to have somebody who was not in on the project so that I'm able to balance out and not favor myself. I'm sorry if you hear sounds in the background. That's Ellie, my cat, and my neighbors are making noise. I hope you can hear them. But yeah, so I have been in the industry since, I would say, 2016. I used to do set books in Kayola, I think. Yeah. Kayola. Siwezi kumbuka what the name of that hall was. I did revamp the source. What was her name? Becky? And several other characters. But yeah, I have been in the industry. I have seen it grow. I have seen it change from when I joined to now, and how it has grown. And for me, that is something that I really would want to talk about. Ellie, shut up. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting angry because I've fed him. I've cuddled him. he has water, he has, I don't understand men. You give them everything when they still want something. So, so yeah, so basically what I'm trying to say is I have a passion for film, and that is why I started this podcast. I wanted a platform where we could talk about films in Kenya, because most of the time other countries have like special film review platforms. There's a podcast, there's a YouTube channel, and I realized that's like a space which is lacking in Kenya. And I was like, yep, I should definitely get on that space, because I love film and I definitely want to talk about it. And us talking about it, you and I, that is, makes this filmmaker see, we can see the growth, we can appreciate the growth, and we can also point out things that maybe we need to change. And I think that's really nice. That is why I do what I do. Um, and also, like, it's not been easy. First of all, this is not easy, because you can imagine you're just in the house alone. There's a camera that you've put just to film yourself. That's not easy. It's not the same as being on set, because it's a whole production team. This is a one woman production team. It's not easy. Everyone who does content creation, that person I totally respect. It's not easy. But it gives me dopamine. It makes my life enjoyable, gives me a sense of purpose, which I love, which is why I will not stop doing this. So help me God. So help me God. Sometimes it gets nasty. You want to shoot something, there are no lights. You want to shoot something, there's too much noise in the background. So sometimes I have to shoot like late at night when everybody is asleep. It's a lot of sacrifice, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make over and over again. Um, so in the last 5 episodes I've done, I've learned quite a lot. Obviously, in some, like, when I'm giving these reviews, I am not Google. I do not know. I'm not ChatGPT. I do not know. Even ChatGPT doesn't know it all. It only knows up to 2022. But for real, it's been amazing. I've learned a lot. So for Between the Rains was a very like, I would never have thought somebody would make a film about climate, and I would actually be moved by it. For Click Click Bang, took me a minute. Thank you, James Materia. Materia pointed out. I realized I didn't know this film was set in the 2000s. So, guys, this is where I really appreciate when you interact with me, because it's a conversation. I want us to have a conversation about these films, because I could be wrong. I was wrong about Click Click Bang. By what I mean by wrong is that I mentioned why Kevo's girlfriend had a phone, the button phone, and I'm like, we're in a digital era. Couldn't she have a smartphone? And then I realized later, it's in the 2000s. They did not have smartphones, so it made sense. And also for volume, there has been so much feedback on it, and thank you to everyone who's given me feedback, who's engaged with me in the conversation, to every guest I have had in the last 5 episodes. That is Tracy, Amadi, Arthur, and Superman. Thank you so much, guys. It really means a lot. So I just made this so that you guys could know who I am. I am passionate about film. I want to talk about film, specifically Kenyan films, but I also want to relate with East Africa, Africa, and the rest of the world, and see how we're growing. Because Nigeria is showing us fire, guys. If there's something that we should learn, if there's a country that we should learn from, it's definitely Nigeria, and I hope that we actually do learn from it. Those people were taking their industry by storm. I mean, I can understand that they have more people in their country, but I also think that we can do better. Because obviously, like 90% of Kenyans who watch films do not watch Kenyan films. There's an untapped market for this. So if you're also planning to get into the film industry, make this your space. We are going to talk about a lot of things, not just review films. We're going to talk about industry. different jobs in the industry. A DIT, something that probably most people don't know about. Somebody who transfers the footage. A costume designer, makeup artist, SFX makeup, stunts coordinator, all of that. There are so many opportunities in the film industry. They're untapped. But I know the main reason is shmonies. So hopefully we'll get to those topics, and I pray that the industry gets better because I love it and I am hopeful about it. I'm very, very hopeful. I think there's potential. We just need to put our heads together. Yeah. So this is going to be a very short episode. Like I said, it's an interlude. We are making changes. I am making changes. So henceforth, we will be having the podcast release on Monday at 10 a.m., not on Friday at 8 p.m. This is to give you guys time during the weekend so that you can watch the film, and by Monday we can all have a conversation about it. Thank you so much to we have about over 105 plays already. I started this in November 24th. Thank you so much to everyone who's engaged with me, who's listened, who's shared. I appreciate you. That would be all for now. I hope you know the little you know about me. You'll continue to know more. Thank you so much and Happy New Year! Happy 2024. Let's talk film.